Good morning, everyone, and welcome to what could be soon known as Joshua Zirkzee Day for Manchester United. We are live right now, and if you're joining us live, make sure you leave a comment down in the chat. I want to know how you're feeling about it. And if you're joining us after the stream, skip forward 2 minutes and we'll get right into the action. How's everyone doing, chat? We all doing? We all excited? It's a nice way to kick off a Monday, isn't it? All this good Manchester United news. Makes me very, very, very excited. How are we all doing, chat? We all good? I hope we're doing well. We all doing good? It's a Monday morning, start of a new week. I had a very good weekend. How was your weekend? How was your guys' weekend? Let me know down below. Let me know in the chat. We'll give it a couple minutes for everyone to sort of filter through, and then we'll get straight into it. How are we all doing, guys? So let's hope something actually happens this week. I think, you know what, I'm quite hopeful of a here we go today. Hi, Oliver. Good morning, Cubus. Good morning, Sunny Milan. How to say good morning to you. What a lovely day. It is a lovely day, isn't it? It is. Lots of Joshua Zirkzee news. I'm very, very, very excited. Good morning. I will give it one more minute. Get everyone filtered through. Chat, let me know. Off the bat, those already in here. Rate the Joshua Zirkzee signing out of 10 for me. Already, let me know. How would you rank it? How would you rate it? Good morning, Alex. Great name, mate. Great name. We'll get started in just 1 minute. So much talked about today. Joshua Zirkzee, Casemiro. We're talking about Desiree Doué, Matthijs de Ligt, obviously Manuel Ugarte. Talking about Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood. The list goes on and on and on. I have a feeling it's going to be a monster stream. And shall we get right into it straight away? So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the MPB Morning Show. I'm your host, Alex, at Alex Talks All. And could it be today that we hear the magic words? Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United. Here we go. I certainly hope so, and if you're excited for that and so much more, then please leave a like on the video and smash that subscribe button. We're aiming for 5,000 subs in the month of July, and we're less than 400 subscribers away. And as always, get involved in the chat down below. It is already popping off, and as always, get involved. It is a family, it is a community on the MPB Morning Show. But shall we start off? And the player I just mentioned, Joshua Zirkzee. The chat's already saying 9 out of 10 for Zirkzee. 5 out of 10, 6.5 to 7. 7 out of 10. Van Nistelrooy, yes, no, I know he's in Carrington today. Morning, Alex is a 10, 7 out of 10 deal. Good morning, Kyle. So far, the reaction to Joshua Zirkzee seems kind of mixed. Why, chat? Why, everyone else, if you haven't said what you'd rate it, let me know. Let me know. So saying I can't get hyped over a player I haven't seen 90 minutes from, would be excited for an Ivan Toney. That's a really fair take. That's a really fair take. But shall I, to those who haven't watched enough, I've watched quite plenty of Joshua Zirkzee. Let's talk about him. But first, let's talk about the news cycle and his role at Manchester United. So Joshua Zirkzee, why has it been a somewhat protracted set of negotiations for him? Well, I think as we're all probably aware, the commissions was something that stalled AC Milan. It didn't really stall us. We were quite happy to pay the commission. Fabrizio Romano said that Kia Jorbichan and Manchester United had an excellent relationship. That's huge. That's huge. That's really, really, really important. Because imagine Manchester United of old having an upper hand on another club because of our relationship with an agent. Chat, like, when was the last time United was smart like that? Cynical, clever? Like, come on. That's brand new for us. Remember Kia Jorbichan with us with the Tevez deal with the Glazers all those times ago. And look how we are now. It's like, oh, it's so impressive and it gets me very, very, very excited. So if it wasn't his, if it wasn't for the fact that we didn't know his commissions, if it wasn't the wages which we've now agreed with, if it wasn't that, what was holding the deal up? Chat, it was his role. Would he be partnering Rasmus Hojlund? Would he be a backup to Rasmus Hojlund? Clearly, he has some ambition. I don't think he wanted to come purely to be backup. But chat, what would you have Joshua Zirkzee as? As a backup, as your starting number 9? Is he good enough to be Manchester United's starting number 9? Let me know down below. Let me know down below. What's MPB short for? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Zlatan said Mills. What do you mean Zlatan said Mills? CR7 deal was the last time we had such a hold. But we moved like that not because of... Actually, no, Jorge Mendes. Yeah, no. I'll give you that. But even then, I don't think I don't think it was like that. Just because of a relationship with an agent, we just got the deal done like that. I think it's so impressive. Genuinely, the most impressive thing the Ineos team have done so far. Good morning, Alex and Bam. Good morning, KD. I hope you're doing well. A Dutch outlet, BINL, says Joshua Zirkzee will become a new Manchester United player after the Netherlands' participation in the Euros. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. I doubt we get an official announcement about Zirkzee before the Euros ends for with the Dutch campaign. I think we will be waiting till after that, but I think we will get a here we go, hopefully, today on Joshua Zirkzee. Louis says, I hope it's to work with Hojlund. Chat, anyone else? Do you want it to work alongside him? Is he higher or lower in the pecking order? Let me know. Plessy Gold says, Manchester United are pushing to finalise the Joshua Zirkzee deal now. Bayern Munich were also informed about the progressing negotiations between United and Bologna. Bayern have a 50% sell-on clause for Zirkzee. That is huge, by the way. So we'll receive 20 million euros as soon as United trigger the 40 million euro release clause. The 40 million euro release clause as well, really important. Are we paying that in full? Are we going to sort of structure it differently? We'll get onto that in just a second. Ben Jacobs says, Joshua Zirkzee has spoken to RUUD van Nistelrooy ahead of his potential move to Manchester United. Earlier in these last few weeks, I've been talking about Erik ten Hag and Ineos working in tandem. They are at their best when they are working together. Not really this dysfunctional sort of system, not Glazers, Woodward, Arnold and Erik ten Hag sort of working on their own. They are working together. Fabrizio Romano made a report saying, let me find it very quickly. Where was it? Erik ten Hag is calling Zirkzee almost every day. So far from what we know, RUUD van Nistelrooy has spoken to Joshua Zirkzee. Erik ten Hag has consistently spoken to Joshua Zirkzee. That sort of relationship which we're building with this player is huge. It's huge already. Before they even come to the club, they feel assured, they feel communicated with, that willingness to come is there. And then you've got Ineos, the finance guys, the people who know how to structure deals well. They're talking to the agent. It's not this mess up. It seems very clear. It was very cohesive in our efforts to go after Joshua Zirkzee, and that is so impressive and a really good sign for things to come for Manchester United. And then Master says Erik ten Hag out. I don't think there's very few people on this stream who are Erik ten Hag out. I very much doubt it. But no, I think it's really promising. And RUUD van Nistelrooy teaching Joshua Zirkzee. Chat, we're going to get on just how important that could be so soon. Let's see what you lot are saying. How many league goals did he get last season? Joshua Zirkzee got 11 goals last season with 5 assists. That's what he got. Ayinka says, only time will tell. Zirkzee is a different player. He drops deep for wingers. Southern wingers, Garnacho and Vashi can do a good job. He could start. He can play a Firmino role in this squad. Bobby Firmino is a very interesting stylistic comparison. You see Bobby Firmino, I've heard Benzema, I've heard even people like Harry Kane all being linked as like a comparison to Joshua Zirkzee. I think he's a mix of all three, but we're getting on to how Joshua Zirkzee will be fitting in at Manchester United very soon. So make sure you stay around for that. If you're enjoying the stream so far, make sure you hit that like button. And are you excited about Joshua Zirkzee to Manchester United? Tony and Zirkzee, Hojlund to squad player or loan if we really want him to develop. Chat, that's brave. Would you bring in another striker? We spent nearly 60 million pounds on Joshua Zirkzee last season. Do we already, not Joshua Zirkzee, on Rasmus Hojlund last season. Do we send him out on loan? Does he need to? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Cuba says Hojlund looks fatigued ever since he came back from injury early this year and still looks not 100% for Denmark. He needs good rest to avoid burnout. Zirkzee should start. I think it'll be very much a meritocracy. Those who deserve to start. It's an orange party at United. Oh dear. The Dutch kit has got it's a very similar crest to the United Devil. It's very similar actually. And just talking about the finances of Joshua Zirkzee, there seems to be a push that it's going to be just paying the 40 million euro release clause. I think Di Maurizio came out and said it. Manchester United have now formally informed Bologna that they're going to pay Joshua Zirkzee's release clause. Again, I think Fabrizio Romano said very similar things. And I think the Muppeteers sort of contradicted it, saying we don't know yet. But Court Offside, I think, have also clarified that we are going to be paying the release clause for, just straight up, for Joshua Zirkzee. KD, given that the profile is very different, I think they'll play together many times. Can even see Bruno getting some rest with Bruno in an even Mount. We forgot about him like a new signing. God, chat, Mason Mount this year, he's going to have a phenomenal year. I promise you. I promise you. Zedem says we shouldn't be afraid to cut our losses after giving a second chance. Hojlund and Anthony are players we can't fully trust to perform. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Rasmus Hojlund in his first season in the Premier League got how many goals? Double digits, right? Double digits. He's how old? What? 20, 21? First season at United, very raw. Biggest club in the world, forced to start, very dysfunctional system. And look how well he did. You don't just score 10 goals. You don't have a signature finish. Faking with your left, coming back and smashing it far corner with your right. That is a Rasmus Hojlund signature finish now. How many players do you know who have that in their bag? Who's got that aerial dominance, that box presence, who is learning on the job? Rasmus Hojlund will score so many goals for Manchester United. Maybe not next season, he'll score more, but he will get there, I promise you. Right, Pandy, how you doing, mate? Ethan Wheatley should be United's third striker. No need to spend money on another striker. Send him out on loan. He's not ready. He's not ready. Have Rashford as your third striker. Honestly, put Bruno up there as a false nine. That should be the sort of thing you're doing. That should be the sort of thing you're doing. We need strength and depth. We should turn Zirkzee into a number 7. I don't know what a number 7 is. To accommodate Hojlund in the lineup. How do you see this? If you mean turning him into like a left winger, I thought about that. I mean, chat, very quickly, before I get into it in a second, how would you play Rasmus Hojlund and Joshua Zirkzee together, or would you? Would you play them as a 2-striker system? Let me know. Carl Duncan says, oh, did I check out Nkape? I didn't, mate. I've had a very busy weekend, hence the lack of streams. But no, I have loads of time today, so I will get up on him for you. Trust me, mate. I know Chelsea are looking at him, though. Chelsea are looking at him. Vazzy got 16 last season. 16 goals in his first season in the Premier League. In the Champions League, like group stage top scorer. And I'm being told that he's not good enough and should be going on our loan. No, chat, let me know. Would you sell or send on loan Rasmus Hojlund? Let me know down below. But shall we talk about Rasmus Hojlund and Joshua Zirkzee as a pairing? As a pairing and what they'll both bring to the side. Rasmus Hojlund, we know he's an outlet. The game against Luton, you know that we scored like 2 goals in the opening 10-15 minutes. We thought it'd be a rout and it was a very weird game. Rasmus Hojlund was at his best, capitalising on the opposition's mistakes, being that outlet who can be sent through on goal. The goal he scored in the Champions League where he went from one half to the other, that's what he is. He's not a hold-up striker. He is a physical force. He is a wrecking ball. That's who Rasmus Hojlund is. He can just tear through defences. He's a strong runner. That's what Rasmus Hojlund needs to be. Joshua Zirkzee is a very different sort of profile. I watched a lot of Bologna last season. And Thiago Motta is a very, very progressive coach and knew exactly how to utilise Joshua Zirkzee. Very simply, he's almost like a 9 and a 10 in 1. Yes, he's a traditional number 9. He takes up those spaces. He occupies the centre-backs, but he does drift into the zone between the opposition defence and the midfield, where a number 10, where a Bruno Fernandez would often reside. He comes in there, he draws centre-backs towards him, holds up play really well. He's 6'4". He is a monster. Joshua Zirkzee, he's a big lad. He's powerful, he's quick, and he's got that strength to hold off centre-backs and link play in between the wingers, maybe a Bruno Fernandez. At Bologna, he made Lewis Ferguson a monster. He made Ndoye the best he will ever play. He works really well with powerful midfielders, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandez's, those who love box crashing, getting into around the box. He loves working with those sort of midfielders. And wingers who absolutely fly down the wing. That is what Joshua Zirkzee is brilliant at. And it's a very different profile, as you can probably see, from Rasmus Hojlund. Very different players. Very, very different players. What's impressed me more about Zirkzee, the more I watch him, is his ability to drive from the centre. Watch Manchester United last season. How many players in the middle of the park can drive through teams? Honestly, in recent years, to the centre, not on the wings, not a Rashford, not a Garnacho, who in the middle, from centre-back, midfield, striker, Who can take the ball, take on two players in the middle of the park? Nobody. Kobbie Mainoo and Harry Maguire. Honestly, the two names who can do it consistently. Bruno can't. Not athletic enough. You're not expecting Casemiro to beat a man, are you? Think about it. Mason Mount, he's not that sort of player. Who else have we got? We have Sofian Amrabat. That's not that sort of player again. But Joshua Zirkzee, he is that sort of player. He is almost very graceful with the ball at his feet. He's a lot quicker than you think he is. He has a burst. One of his sort of piece de resistance when beating a man is knocking it past him and just gliding through him. He has long strides. He beats his man like that. Yes, he can dribble past his man, but that quick little burst to get beyond is what Joshua Zirkzee has, and that could be really quite pivotal to our attack. Being able to take out a midfielder, take out a centre-back. Remember Cole Palmer's goal against Everton? The really famous one where he skinned Jared Banthwaite. Just effortlessly gliding past him by nutmegging him. That's Joshua Zirkzee to a T, and he's more powerful and more progressive in his carries than Cole Palmer is. And that's what Zirkzee will bring to the side. Let's see what you lot are saying. I've waffled on long enough there. What are you lot saying? KD, it wouldn't be typical two-striker system. Joshua is very different, you're right. He's basically an attacking midfielder playing as a striker. I disagree with that. I disagree because he can take up normal striker positions. A number 10 isn't expected to hold off two centre-backs. Joshua Zirkzee can do that. He is a physical monster in a very interesting way. Someone said, who said it? Does he score a load of headers? He doesn't. Joshua Zirkzee is not a box threat in the opposition box. You wouldn't want to put the ball on him on corners. He's a 26% aerial duel rate. Like, he wins 26% of the heads. That's so low. That's like, not good. It's not good, chat. But in the box, in the defending box, that's where he'll sort of come into his stride a little bit. He'll win defensive headers, not necessarily sort of headers in build-up, and not headers in the ball into the box. Zirkzee is a facilitator player. Yeah, that's the closest thing we sort of have to a Joshua Zirkzee. People say Karim Benzema. I don't see it much. I don't see the Benzema comparisons. Cool, he's a 10/9. If you want to call Benzema that, cool. He can hold off defenders. That's great, but he's not a Karim Benzema. Bobby Firmino, I agree. Everyone remembers Bobby Firmino, Salah, Mane. That front three. What did Bobby Firmino do? He dropped back and allowed those balls to be played to the ongoing Sadio Mane, the ongoing Mohamed Salah. That could sort of what could happen at Manchester United. Imagine Joshua Zirkzee dropping deep and playing the long ball to Rashford, playing the long ball to Alejandro Garnacho on either wing. That is devastating, chat. That is absolutely devastating and could score goal after goal after goal for us. Fair enough, what I mean is that he's not an out-and-out striker. He's not. Some of his best goals I saw from him when watching him last year were third-man runs. You know how Scott McTominay does it? And sort of sitting on the edge, makes that run in, and like about, 10 yards outbound the penalty spot, smashes them in. Joshua Zirkzee scores those kind of goals. It's quite uncanny how much of he's a duplicitous player. He's a number 9, a number 10, and a number 8. But because of that versatility, because of that sort of intriguing, unique profile, you have to manage him very, very carefully. Q says, horrible deal. Chiesa is an injury-prone player. Don't need him. Chat, Chiesa Sancho has been something offered up. There's 90 of you in here right now. Would you swap Chiesa for Jadon Sancho? Let me know. Yes and no's. So he's like Wout. He's not like Wout. Wout Weghorst is, well, okay. Sort of. He has a similar profile to Wout Weghorst, but Zirkzee's physical attributes, his speed, his power, the way he can show off players, that is so unique to him, which makes him so much better than Joshua Zirkzee. He's a better finisher. Technically, he's a marvel. Joshua Zirkzee with a ball at his feet is a gorgeous thing to watch. Honestly, it's so clean, it's elegant. The ball practically sticks to him. It's almost Anthony Martial-esque. I heard comparisons about Martial to Joshua Zirkzee. It's not quite there, but I get why you'd say it. They both look after the ball incredibly well. Exactly, Premium says he is similar to Martial actually with better work rate. Joshua Zirkzee is a wonderful presser. He is great in duels, and that's the sort of thing. He's a big lad. I speak a lot about Amadou Onana and my love for him because of the ground he can cover because of his size. Joshua Zirkzee is the same thing. He can cover insane amounts of ground just because he can just stick a leg out and he can reach halfway across the pitch. He's huge. He's practically double my size. And that's why I'd really, really like the idea of Joshua Zirkzee. Off the ball, he provides so much value to us. I've gone on and on about how good Joshua Zirkzee is. Chat, have I changed your mind about him being a 7 out of 10 signing, a 6 out of 10 signing? I would say he's an 8.5 out of 10 signing if we get him right. A lot of Eric Ten Hag's players, when he brings them in, need the right environment to thrive. Think Lisandro Martinez, think Anthony, and I think Joshua Zirkzee is no different. He is a very, what's the phrase? He's clearly environmentally dependent, both mentally and stylistically in the way we play football. And before I get into all that, chat, if you're enjoying the stream so far, please leave a like on the video. We're aiming for 50 likes on today's monumental Joshua Zirkzee stream. So please, if you're enjoying the stream so far, please leave a like and smash that subscribe button as well. Carl Duncan, 6'4", he is a unit. He's an absolute monster, isn't he? He's an absolute monster. 8 out of 10 says Katie, I agree with you. I swap Sancho for anyone. God, Sancho's... Oh, boys, no Jadon Sancho talk. Joshua Zirkzee. So let's talk about his mental profile a little bit. I've been very positive. I'm going to sort of provide a little bit of balance to the argument, and then we'll discuss it together at the end. Joshua Zirkzee had issues at Bayern Munich mentally, and that is an issue for me, if I'm being completely honest with you. He is a wonderful player, technically there, physical monster. Does he have the mentality to put it all on the line for the badge? And to me, it sort of explains his his physical issues, as in getting involved in contact, getting up in the air and winning headers, doing the dirty work. That's my almost biggest question mark around him. Is he going to put his all in line for the badge? 95th minute, do you expect Joshua Zirkzee to make that extra effort to get, Jude Bellingham's goal against the overhead kick in the 95th minute? That is a mentality of a player who'll give it all for the badge, all for his country, all for the teammates around him. Does Joshua Zirkzee have that? And perhaps because of how physically dominant he could be, is it potentially a warning sign that he's not? Because he couldn't be a monster, couldn't he? He could be an absolute monster, but maybe his mental profile holds him back. Again, a player as so confusing and as interesting as him, in like the way he plays, he's a 10, he's a 9, he's an 8, he is a striker, but he scores like an 8, he builds play like a 10, he holds play like a 9. It's so confusing at times with Joshua Zirkzee. You have to have the right players around him. A front line of maybe Joshua Zirkzee, Amad Diallo and Jadon Sancho would be one of the worst front lines I could ever imagine. That, to me, would be the most underwhelming, unthreatening, shuddering frontline I've ever seen. On the other hand, Joshua Zirkzee, Rashford, Alejandro Garnacho, it's gorgeous. I know Garnacho isn't a right winger, and you lot want him to be a left winger. I see him being a wonderful right winger personally, but that's just my opinion. Joshua Zirkzee would thrive in that sort of scenario. Imagine that. Bruno running up alongside him, Joshua Zirkzee holding up play, knocking it to Bruno over the top to Rashford, goal. Same thing on the other side. Got Kobbie Mainoo laying it off to Kobbie, ball to Garnacho, goal. That is how easy it could be for Joshua Zirkzee. Honestly, his ability to draw defenders towards him, allowing space for Rashford, for Garnacho to run in behind. But also, allowing maybe, Rashford to drop deep, hold at the ball, giving it to Zirkzee. It's a really good video I reposted. Follow me on Twitter at AlexTalksAll. And it's about Joshua Zirkzee's long final ball. The amount of times that I can imagine Joshua Zirkzee playing the ball over the top for Garnacho to chase, for Rashford to chase, it makes me so excited. It's that ability to stretch the game, to give players space, to look after his own space, is what really excites me about Joshua Zirkzee. Pau says Hojlund and Zirkzee are two different profiles of striker. That's what we needed. Exactly. You're so right, mate. You're so right. You need that sort of Swiss Army knife player. And Joshua Zirkzee is that. If we sell Sancho, we need a starting winger in Kvaratskhelia. No, but we have Marcus Rashford. And we sort of heard from the Muppeteers. And we'll talk about Marcus Rashford very, very soon, chat. Do not miss a beat. Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Manuel Ugarte, Matisse, Ligt will all be spoken about today. So make sure you do not miss out at all. Don't want to be missing this today. Let me check if any more news is coming out as well, very quickly. Still, Hojlund should be our number one. Chat, I'm going to put a poll out to all of you. Who should be our number one striker next season? Who should be the starting number 9? Number 9. Next season. Hojlund or Zirkzee? There we go, chat. There we go. Week 1. Game week 1. Who would you rather have starting up front for you, leading the line? Joshua Zirkzee? Or would you have Rasmus Hojlund? Let me know down below. Hey, RUUD. Yeah, we're talking about RUUD and this story as well. Got so much to talk about today, chat. So much to talk about today. Any news about Malacia, the left-back position, is worrying. It is worrying, unfortunately. I don't really know anything about that, though. Has to be Zirkzee. Good morning to you, Z. How are you doing, my friend? Hojlund is winning at 71%. Chat, I'll let you know. Who would I rather have up front? On the MPB morning show, who would I rather have? Joshua Zirkzee, Rasmus Hojlund. To me, Rasmus Hojlund. You don't score 16 goals last season and lose your spot. It is a meritocracy. He has put the work in. He is getting himself in the right positions time after time again, and the goals will come for him. But I think the point that has been made to Joshua Zirkzee is, look, you will get your opportunity. If Rasmus Hojlund doesn't perform, you have been brought in to potentially be Manchester United's number 9. And you see it. We've seen it across Europe in the top squads. There needs to be that sort of depth. You can have 2 starting number 9s. I think it's a risk to do it. I'm saying it can work. If Rasmus Hojlund and Joshua Zirkzee push each other on, make each other better, that's huge. That's huge. And we want that. We want that. If Hojlund sort of shrinks, if Zirkzee sort of shrinks in competition, a la Martial under Zlatan Ibrahimovic, sure, we've got an issue. We've got an issue. But I think Hojlund has the mentality. I think he's got that resilience. This season, he showed a lot of resilience. From being practically ridiculed by the whole English media, to being the Champions League group stage top scorer, he's got that mentality, he's got that resilience, and that is why I think he can thrive alongside Rasmus Hojlund, and we can have almost 2 starting number 9s next season. We can just rotate the 2, exactly, but there's always going to want to be that clear pecking order. There always is, unless, you can reference City, Docker and Grealish. You can reference Bernardo Silva and Julian Alvarez. You can reference KDB and Phil Foden. Really powerful top players who demand to start being rotated in and out. But almost a striker role has an ego to it, I feel. There is an ego of being a number 9. There is an ego of being the starting player, the goal scorer, the gunman up front. Almost the face. You think of a club, you think of their number 9. It's almost synonymous in our heads. And that sort of ego you need to have, and that's why I do think it's a difficult position. The number 9 shirt, exactly. Remember the issues we had with Cavani, Martial, Ronaldo, over shirt numbers being taken. Yes, Cavani was the number 7 shirt, but it's that desire for the number 9 shirt. And that needs to be taken into account as well. I think Garnacho plays better from the right wing as he's more predictable. Garnacho on the right wing is better. He's better, and let me tell you why. Because he actually has to think. When he's a left winger, he just sort of throws caution to the wind. He runs at he just sort of sprints at players. Not much thought behind it always. At right wing, he feels like he has to think a lot more. His best actions in the final, the FA Cup final, led to us scoring the main goal because he took his time, didn't beat his man. His head was always up. I feel on the left, his head is constantly down. And that's not a bad thing. He's strong, he's committed, he wants to beat his man, he's never deterred from it. But I do think he's at his best. He's the most considerate on the right wing. And yes, everyone is please trying to push for 50 likes. It would mean the world to me if we can hit that target. Garnacho should be good on both wings. It's development. It's versatile as well. It's versatile. Any last thoughts on this monster Joshua Zirkzee segment, chat, before we move on to be talking about the new sort of backup staff in Matista Ligt? Not Matista Ligt, sorry. In RUUD van Nistelrooy and HAKE. Ooh, hello. We have a Matista Ligt deal, everybody. We have an update. I've just seen this right now. C. Moffinsdale has said Manchester United are confident that they will be able to finalise the signing of Matista Ligt as much as possible this week. The Ligt's medical may not take place until a later date due to his participation in the Euros, chat. Matthijs de Ligt to Manchester United. We may be getting one. Here we go today. Could we be getting two? Joshua Zirkzee, Matthijs de Ligt showing up one in the park and the other. Let me know how we're feeling about that piece of news. Let me just break that down very quickly. I think there's a translation there as much as possible this week. I think it's as soon as possible, if I'm being honest. Again, by finalising the signing of Matthijs de Ligt, wage will be agreed, fee will be agreed. I think we'll get a here we go. But I don't think we'll see let's say, medical or the shirt being held up till after the Euros, which could be on Friday. If England beat the Dutch, and I'm not going to show any bias there, if England beat the Dutch, I think we'll see Matthijs de Ligt as a United player holding up the shirt by Friday. And here's all you lot saying, where's all the signings? We need signings now. Where's everything going on? All this talk, all bark, no bite. Here's the bite, chat. Here is the bite. Here is Manchester United moving. But we had to wait. We had to get the right deal. We had to negotiate to get good, solid deals. And look what we've done. Here we go galore this week. I think it'll be 2 here we goes this week. You know what? No. Here's a prediction. We'll be getting 4 here we goes this week regarding Manchester United. 2 incomings, 2 outgoings. That is my bold prediction. De Ligt with a smiley faces, KD, exactly. As he says, I don't think we're getting a here we go today, unfortunately. I think we could for Joshua Zirkzee. I'm quite hopeful. De Ligt, next few days, but we'll see. What club is this? I'm not used to this, United. Love it. So do I, KD. So do I. Chat, do you remember the days when we couldn't do more than one deal at a time? We missed out on Darwin Núñez because we just couldn't work on another deal more than once. Frenkie de Jong, we slowed that entire summer up because we could only work on Frenkie de Jong properly. The Muppeteers have been a strong advocate, a strong sort of an informant for us as fans about us being completely run incompetently by the Glazers. It's completely different under Ineos. Ugarte or Rabiot's not coming, mate. Rabiot's not coming. De Ligt and Zirkzee, here we go this week. I think we get both. But it's really promising news that from De Ligt. Really promising news. A bit of fun news, which I've just been said to. Jadon Sancho is expected to arrive at Carrington for training today. That's the Sun. Is he going to be one of the here we goes we get this week as an outgoing? Is that going to be it? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Who are the outgoings who you expect to leave this week? I know who I think. Let me know. But Matthijs de Ligt, there's some other news we've heard over the last few days. I'll read that out very quickly to you lot to sort of build a better picture. Court Offside said this morning, Manchester United are progressing in talks to sign Matthijs de Ligt for £38 million. It seems the deal is now considered imminent by some sources. Well, everybody, how do we feel about that? Court Offside, I wouldn't mind some corroboration from an English source. We've heard a lot this morning about De Ligt being pushed closer and closer to United, but nothing from an Orny, nothing from a Fab, like really concretely, nothing from Muppeteers or any sort of in the nose around the deal. We've not really heard enough about that. So I wouldn't mind some corroboration, but it's all good indications. It is getting close. I myself heard some sort of rumbling that it's getting a little bit closer. So I'm quite confident. I think a De Ligt here we go could be today or tomorrow, and that seems really quite optimistic. But it could be a possibility. Sancho drama, we will be there. God, so will I. I almost hope he makes up with Erik ten Hag. I hope. I'm going to end the poll for Rasmus Hojlund and Joshua Zirkzee. 61% of you agree with me and say Rasmus Hojlund should be the starting number 9 for Manchester United next season. But let's talk about De Ligt a little bit more. We heard from Sky Sports saying there is a growing feeling all parties want to get the Matthijs de Ligt to Manchester United deal done. It'll be after the Euros. The shirt will be held up after the Euros. I think we all know that. I think the same thing with Zirkzee. But I do think a here we go weekend for both players before the Dutch campaign ends. That's just what I think. That's just my opinion. But Matthijs de Ligt at United, how are we feeling about it? 2 absolute units being added to the spine in De Ligt and Zirkzee, says Sean. Much needed. Exactly. I know I spoke a little bit negatively about Joshua Zirkzee and his physical frame and his ability to use it. He's 6'4". He wears like what, 30% of his headers? It's appalling. That is very, very, very poor. But Matthijs de Ligt is the opposite. A defensive unit, a man mountain. One of the best box defenders I know. And here's a question to you lot. Raphael Varane has left. I saw a debate on the timeline yesterday. Is Matthijs de Ligt a good enough replacement for Raphael Varane? Let me know. I mean this in both the way they play, their injury record, but also their personality. I want to know down below. Let me know. Once these Euros ends, it'll be an absolute frenzy, says Alex King. I agree with you. Another side question. Have you not been enjoying the Euros? Let me know. Are we enjoying it? Are we having a good time? If you're not watching, if you're not supporting any team, who do you want to win? Any United players you want winning? Let me know. Let me know. Pandy says, don't want Sancho back. Honestly, Greenwood deserves second chance. We all know sort of my thing is on Greenwood being, look, Mason Greenwood needs to move on for the sake of everyone at the football club. It is too complicated. It is too difficult. He should go. But also, Jadon Sancho, I think, could deserve a second chance. Because I think the noise around him is much less. I just don't think he'll make up, if I'm being honest, with Erik ten Hag. We need another centre-back. Lindelof needs to be sold. I think both things will happen. Simon Jones put out a report. Let me find it very quickly for you. Saying Manchester United will hold a recruitment meeting on Monday, that's today, as they look to push ahead on imminent transfers. Deals are lined up for Joshua Zirkzee and Matthijs de Ligt, while United also determine whether to put forward another bid for Jared Branthwaite. The last bit's really interesting. Again, I think Jared Branthwaite is very sales dependent, but we'll hope. We'll bring Jared Branthwaite in. He could be our other centre-back signing. Todibo, I think we're progressing in our legal talks with him. So many more players could be added to the squad. But let me know, chat. We rated Zirkzee out of 10 earlier. What would we rate Matthijs de Ligt to Manchester United out of 10? There is 80 of you in the stream so far. Let me know your opinions. And we are also, speaking of number 8, we are 8 likes away from 50 likes. If you've enjoyed the stream so far and you haven't left a like, please make sure to support the stream. And as always, we're aiming for 5,000 subscribers in the month of July. So please support the stream like that if you can. No, Alex, not Branthwaite. Oh, chat. Are we going to disagree on Branthwaite again? Are we going to disagree? We can disagree. KD, Matthijs will prove to be an even better signing than Varane. Okay. Go on. Young enough to keep getting better and more of a leader. Barring injuries, he'll become our main defender and leader at the back. I like that you mentioned the leader part. I like that you mentioned that. Let's talk about Matthijs de Ligt being a leader. Youngest Ajax captain ever. He had a wonderful sort of relationship with that culture, with that sort of never give up, that sort of put body on the line. And to me, that doesn't really sort of correspond very well with the cultures of Juventus especially. Bayern Munich a bit more, due to their sort of very passionate ultras, the sort of German support as well. We all know how passionate the Borussia Dortmund wall is, the yellow wall. Bayern Munich have that equal sort of passion. I think Matthijs de Ligt at Manchester United is a match made in heaven. The Stretford end is going to love that man. And in that sense, he is an upgrade on Raphael Varane. He is a leader. He is loud. He is strong. He is bold. He bleeds. Everyone's seen those images of him bleeding from his face. Very Lisandro Martinez-esque. And the Stretford end loves that, especially in our centre-backs. Those sort of, what qualities? Intangibles. The personality of Matthijs de Ligt is a goldmine, and it is perfect for Manchester United. And dare I say it, it is Manchester United captaincy material. Genuinely asking why United don't explore South American markets. They're very cheap. I think it's because we are exploring the market. I don't think we're fully investing in it properly yet. I don't know why. I'm going to sort of defend them and say we have bigger priorities. We have to sort of stock out the squad a little bit. And due to the lack of funds we have due to PSR, financial fair play, lack of Champions League money, we need to invest in more stronger names who are going to fill in needs here and now. South American players like the Estevao at Chelsea, he's brought in for the longer term. Next 2-3 years. That's what he's being brought in for, not right now. So I think it's more of an immediacy of of needs, which is who we're bringing in. More United news. Yay. I believe it's a... Here we go, just in. Marseille have made a verbal proposal to Manchester United for Mason Greenwood. Talks are underway between the two clubs. Greenwood is still Marseille's main target, with negotiations over the fee. United are open to a loan with an obligation to buy, but with a big sell-on clause. Ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United are moving. We are moving. We have a structure now. We can do this now. Ineos are doing very well. Again, the big sell-on clause. Was it Fab who reported that last night? Let me check. Yes, it was. A very big sell-on clause. I think we were trying to get 35, 40 million pounds for him. I don't think we were getting anywhere near that due to the clubs interested. I think if a Barcelona had reared its head, I think if an Atletico Madrid had reared its head, they'd be a bit more keen on paying that fee. But Marseille, Benfica, Lazio, Juventus are more interested in probably paying 20, 25 million 25 million pounds. So I think, Pandy's saying 50% sell-on clause. Chat, what sell-on clause would you be putting in for Mason Greenwood to Manchester United? Also, interestingly enough, a loan obligation to buy. I think those funds will go straight into this window. I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think that carries on to next year. I think it just goes straight into this year's fee. Ahmed says, Greenwood out. I don't care how good he is, even if he was good as Messi in 2012. He's just unnecessary. He's noise. Mason Greenwood is just noise. That's all he is. It's all he is. Anyone here confident we'll get João Neves? Not happening this window. Out for next summer, though. Out. Everyone seems very scared of paying big money for number 6 and 8 this year. Everyone is terrified. Amadou Onana, João Neves. Who else is there who everyone's looking at? I've drawn a blank, chat. Who else is there? Fofana, no one else is really pushing towards him yet. Don't want a loan, says WY. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's an obligation to buy. So he will be gone next year. 20% and 35 million pounds straight. I think it's more. I would rather take 20, 25 million pounds euros and have a 50, 60% sell-on clause. That's what I'd go with. We are no longer Circus FC. Manchester United have a structure, everybody. We have a structure. And what would you invest that money in, chat? I don't think we really need to talk much about Mason Greenwood, about whether he should be leaving the club. Who should we replace him with? Amad Diallo. Fabrizio Romano made the really quite lovely use that Amad Diallo is an important player at Manchester United, and we are going to be conducting contract talks with him. Is he your like-for-like replacement with Mason Greenwood, or do you go out and get someone like, let me find it, Desiree Doué? Who was it who said it? Let me find a potential replacement for Mason Greenwood. It was Linias Kostas. It sounds Greek. I don't know the source very well, but I think it's Greek. Manchester United, Chelsea and Spurs are looking to immediately sign then wonderkid Desiree Doué. Bayern Munich and PSG are also interested. Chelsea and Spurs want to sign Doué by next week. Is he the one you want to bring in to replace Mason Greenwood? Is he your man? To me, I haven't watched anywhere near enough of Desiree Doué to make a sort of conclusion on it. I don't know. I watched enough of Zirkzee and Matista Ligt. I know how they'd fit. I'm watching Ugarte at the moment. Desiree Doué, I know nothing about. So let me know, chat. Is he the man you want to be brought in to Manchester United to replace the outgoing Mason Greenwood? Let me know. Everton would accept a pack of crisps and a can for Amadou Onana. You're making him sound like a meal deal, bruv. You're making him sound like a meal deal. And no, he'd cost like £50 million. That's how much Amadou Onana would cost. Desiree Doué. Pau was saying Academy. Chat. Shea Lacey. I want Nico Williams. Alex says Mustafa. That's fair. So do I. I want Nico Williams. Never going to happen, though. Never going to happen. Carl Duncan says Elise was the one. He's gone Munich. It's a bit of a shame. Do you not see his Instagram post saying goodbye? So funny. Mustafa says promote Shea Lacey. Not yet. He's physically not ready for first team football. I think he should be allowed to come in and get on the minutes on the bench. I think he should still be playing under 21 football. Maybe even a loan to the Championship in January. Personally, that's what I'd do. I'd get him in and around the first team. till December, January. Then by that time you ship him off to, I don't know, send him to Sunderland, send him to a playoff contender. That's where you send a Shea Lacey. That's when you send a Shea Lacey. I don't think he's ready at the moment. He's not ready at the moment. Winger required only if we can get rid of Anthony. If we get rid of Anthony, chat, I will buy a shirt of your lot's choosing, and I'll wear it for a week on stream. That's what I'd do. That is how confident I am that he's not coming. That's how confident. Fab changed his post. What do you mean? Ooh. I think they did. Oh, I've sent a formal bid. Oh, Christ. Oh, lovely. That's wonderful. Good. Sorry, Chad, just checking news. Bear with me a sec. Fine. Chats, Greenwood's gone. Greenwood's gone by the looks of it. I mean, not officially, it's not a done deal, but I do suspect this is going to sort of speed up over the next few hours, and maybe even today, we're getting a here we go for Mason Greenwood to leave Manchester United. Imagine that. 2 here we goes in one day for Manchester United. Mason Greenwood and Joshua Zirkzee. Could it happen? Let me know down below. Are we confident about that? We should give Pellistri some game time. The thing with Pellistri for me is that I don't really see him being keen to stay at United. Sorry, chat, I'm just making sure I'm not missing any news. I don't want to miss anything. You know, the fact there's a formal bid as well is really important. How much Marseille bids? I don't know. Sorry, chat, I'm being. Bear me a sec. I reckon it's £20 million. I reckon it's £20 million, 25 million euros. That sort of range. I reckon it's going to be like a 50% sell-on fee. That's what I think it's going to be. Alex, here we go. Bingo for Joshua Zirkzee or De Ligt. I think we get Zirkzee today. I think De Ligt will get him on Wednesday or Thursday. As my guess. Mainly because on Thursday, England will have knocked the Netherlands out of the Euros. Unfortunately, how it ends with Mason, the potential wasn't limited. It's just a sad story. Chat, I've told this story before. United young boys under Ralph Rangnick, all the kids were playing. Mason Greenwood was incredible that game. He was a monster. Honestly, he scored like a scissor kick, and I've never been so convinced when I watched a player live of how much raw talent they had. And it's now such a shame that, look, he is gone. He deserves to go. He's too much noise, but it is a shame of how it all turned out, unfortunately. Hopefully we get £34 million. It won't be that. It won't be that, mate. It won't be that. 25 mil and 50% sell-on clause, what we should demand. I think that's what's going to happen. I reckon that's the sort of fee we're going to get in the end. That's my guess. Lindelof, £5 million. Greenwood, £20 million. They'll play third place on Saturday. Yes, no. Oh, yeah, they will, won't they? Oh. Yeah, but that game does matter, but not that much. It's not that important, personally. It's not that important. But shall we talk about our midfield situation a little bit, chat? And we've gone about wingers a lot. Focus on Greenwood, Amad Diallo, Desiree Doué. Let's talk about Casemiro, Manuel Ugarte, and Bruno Fernandez. Chat, that's sort of a merry-go-round at the moment where no one sort of knows what's going on and they all seem very interlinked. What is Zirkzee cooking? Yeah, who knows, brother? Who knows? Casemiro news, everybody. Let's talk about that. Fabrizio Romano says Casemiro's exit from Manchester United remains a concrete possibility this summer. Saudi Pro League clubs are still in contact with his camp to discuss terms. United are open to letting him leave in order to bring in a new midfielder. That new midfielder is seemingly Manuel Ugarte. That's seemingly the link. But chat, let me know, how much would it take for you to part with Casemiro this summer? To me, £35 million. And he's all yours. And even then, I think £35 million for Casemiro is an absolute robbery. That is extortion. They would be buying him, the Saudi Pro League, because of his name. And because it might attract a Brazilian audience. Not because of how good he is at football. Trust me, Casemiro is not being bought for his ability. He's being bought for his name. Bruno will stay. We'll get on to Bruno very soon. Talking about Casemiro and Ugarte first. But how much would it take for you to part with Casemiro, chat? How much? Ugarte will be a done deal, matter of time. Casemiro will leave, Bruno stays. I'm not too confident on Bruno, to be honest. I think there's a chance Bruno Fernandez leaves the club this summer. Give us that Saudi money, hell yeah. You rate Yusuf Fofana, Alex? I do. I think someone who can provide similar value to Aurelien Tchouameni is worth a lot more than £25 million. I think he's worth a lot more than that. I think he's worth like £40 million. I've not watched loads of him, but I've watched enough to sort of come to a conclusion on it. 50 for Casemiro, we're not going to get anywhere near that. I think it'll be half that. Honestly, chat. Honestly. Is it true that Casemiro begged to stay? I doubt it. He fell out with Erik ten Hag. Those two had a falling out. So I very much doubt that that he begged to stay. But again, we had some Ugarte news as well. Let's find that. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano. Again, we speak about Romano quite negatively sometimes. At least I don't. The timeline does, but time and time again, here he is, providing reliable information, reliable, accurate, and to the point. Contacts between Manchester United and PSG for Manuel Ugarte are still ongoing. Ugarte is waiting and is keen to join United again. Something that I'm now really happy with Zirkzee is his desire to join United. I think he needs to be convinced that he would have a role to play at United. Maybe not more to stay in Italy, but would he be comfortable at playing United? Would he be a backup? Would he get garbage time minutes? Or would he be able to start and lead the line for the biggest club in world football? And Ugarte seemingly needed very little convincing on that. It's obvious he'd be brought in to be our starting number 6, to play alongside Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandez. That would be our starting midfield 3. If we brought in Manuel Ugarte. And look, he is obviously the man. The word waiting is used because we're waiting to sell Casemiro. It is a domino effect, is what we're waiting for at the moment. Regardless, Casemiro needs to be at training today. I think he is. I mean, we saw RUUD van Nistelrooy and Rene HAKE show up. I mean, those two guys are going to be transforming the coaching staff at Manchester United. Anyone interested in Hannibal? I don't know, mate. I don't know. The United stand said this morning they think Casemiro will go to Saudi Arabia for £27.5 million. That would be a fair enough fee. Honestly, I think that's fair for all parties. Oh, I think that's very fair. I think it's very fair. Front 3, Rashford, Zirkzee, Mount. What? That's your front 3? Rashford, Zirkzee, Mount. What? Surely not. Leaf, my friend, that is a funky lineup. Your lineup is... at the back, you've got... what? So you'd have Onana in goal, Martinez, Ligt, Yoro. In midfield, you have Shaw, João Neves, Mainoo and Dalot. Up front, you'd have Rashford, Zirkzee and Mount. Where's Bruno? Where's Garnacho? Where's Ahmad? What? What? Chat, let me know your thoughts on that lineup, please. Because I'm really rather intrigued by it. Leaf, defend yourself, please. What? Nah, I'm gobsmacked by that. I'm gobsmacked. I think that side gets ran through. Just you have no right winger. Where's Garnacho? Ahmad? Bruno? Oh dear. Anyway, moving on. Carl Duncan, big role for Mount this year. I think he is the Bruno replacement long term. Just my thoughts due to Ten Hag. Mason Mount, if I'm being honest with you, if we sell Bruno Fernandez this year, if he does go, and there is a chance that Bruno Fernandez does go to Saudi Arabia. Not really that many good English sources, but a lot of very agent-driven journalists, a lot of good Saudi Arabian sources are not really denying the links and the sort of fondness that Bruno Fernandez and Saudi Arabia have for each other. Whether they'll pay a fee that will be acceptable for Manchester United, which would be around £80 million plus £100 million. To me, I don't think you invest that in the midfield that much. I think you spread it about. I think Mason Mount is good enough to replace Bruno Fernandez. That man won a Champions League. He assisted a goal in 2020, 21? God, I can't speak today. 2020, 2021 Champions League final. I'm pretty sure Mason Mount got the assist. You want that sort of player at your club? You want that sort of player at your club? No Bruno, no party, says KD. I really want Bruno Fernandez to stay, but I do see a future at United, a good one, without Bruno Fernandez at the club. That's what I'd say. Hi, Gadali, my friend, how are you doing? Will there be a here we go stay? I bloody well hope so, mate. I bloody well hope so. Kimmich leaving, will you take? I mean, Arsenal might be sniffing around Kimmich. You never know. You never know. It's not bad, like 6 out of 10. No chance Bruno leaves. Does Bruno leave Manchester United this summer? Let's see. Does Bruno leave Manchester United this summer? Let's ask you, chat. Does Bruno leave Manchester United this summer? Get involved down below, chat. If you've been involved the entire time, I really appreciate it. But if you're watching the stream, you haven't commented, you haven't got involved in the chat, why not? It is a family, it is a community. Yes, we'll laugh at each other sometimes. Yes, we'll take the piss. But as always, we're always about being constructive and having a good time. So get involved. If it's your first ever interaction with the stream, get involved in this stream right now. Get involved, chat. Get involved. PSG, I'm interested in Kimmich. I think he'll go to one of the big boys. He's not playing in the Europa League, Joshua Kimmich. I'm sorry. Bruno 100% stays on a new contract. If Bruno Fernandez leaves, okay, chat. Bruno goes, £100 million to spend. Who do you buy? That's a question. That's a question for you lot. Who would you buy for Manchester United if you got Bruno Fernandez money? Let me know. Let me know, chat. You'd sell Bruno and... sorry. Step Hen Welch says, I'd sell Bruno and Rashford this summer and bring in Neves and Almo. Do you mean Olmo? Danny Olmo? From Leipzig. The Spanish bloke. Is that who you mean, mate? KD, Matt will be like a new signing this season. Exactly. Many forget his quality despite him not playing pretty much all season. You're so right, mate. You're so right. Cubis, easy, Florian Wirtz. Oh, what a shout, Cubis. Cubis, what a shout. Oh, my friend, that's a wonderful, wonderful opinion. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't think there's anyone else you can have as a replacement. No, I forgot Wirtz existed somehow. Yeah. Cubis with the take of the day. Cubis with the take of the day. Leaf 3-4-3 is my starting point. In that formation, we don't need a distinct number 6, and we don't need a distinct number 10. Bruno Fernandez is an 8 nowadays, a hybrid 8, a hybrid 10. I think he could do the role. There's also that midfield to be killed. There's no real heights, no real power. Like that. Neves, mainly midfield, no. No, I disagree. So no number 10 can replace Bruno right now. Florian Wirtz might arguably be a better player than Bruno Fernandez. I think they're very similar. And also, just from a narrative, from a purely Manchester United player point of view, he scored a hat-trick in a game that finished 5-0 to win Bayer Leverkusen their first Bundesliga in however long. And also to make them go undefeated. So personally, chat, I'm raising Florian Wirtz really quite highly. I think he is very similar to Bruno Fernandes and will be better than Bruno Fernandes next season. I think next season he's going to have his breakout year and then he'll annoyingly go to Real Madrid and I'll be sad about him ever since. So just more. I mean, yeah. Step says Wirtz wouldn't come to us. Yeah, wouldn't. We can't let Bruno leave. He's our best player by far. That's fair enough, says WY. Carl Duncan Musiala is the dream for me. Musiala was fantastic at the Euros. He ragdolled Rodri. Do you all remember that? He just sort of pushed him down. He was like, Rodri came up to me like, no. But yeah, Musiala is never going to come to us, chat. So the thing, Florian Wirtz is the one sort of outside chance. You throw money at him. You promise him Champions League football eventually. I mean, yeah. Wirtz better than Bruno. Go stand in the corner and reflect on your sins. No. No, I think it's a very, very valid debate. I think they're very close. One of them led his team to a undefeated season last year. So, I know who I'm going to be backing. A little bit. Musiala is generational. If you get rid of Bruno Fernandez, you need a generational talent. It's what you need. Lucas Paquetá, if he's not suspended, he's one of the funniest players for a long time. He's a funny player. He's going back to Brazil on a permanent transfer, maybe. That's hilarious, honestly. I'd go for De Jong. Kudus if we sell Bruno. That's a fun shout. You'd have to be careful off the ball. Because... No, I think... Pardon me, chat. So I got the hiccups. Good God. If you brought Kudus in, you would have Garnacho, Kudus, and probably like Rashford as like your pressers. I don't think that's physical enough. So you'd probably need like an Onana or a stronger player than Ugarte as your number 6. But I do like the idea of Kudus. I do like the idea. Burts is a better player. Okay, chat, you know what? We'll have fun to decide at the end of the stream. We'll have some fun. It's the final act. Who is a better player right now? Kudus. No, not Kudus. Burts or Bruno Fernandez? Who is a better player? Just to end the stream with a bit of fun. Burts or Bruno Fernandez? Let me know. That would be to end the stream. If you've enjoyed the stream so far, please leave a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. We're aiming for 5,000 subs in the month of July. All your support is so appreciated. Let's see what your opinions are on that poll very quickly. Give us a follow at mufcMPB on X to never miss a piece of United news. And as always, get involved on my socials at Alex Talksall on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter to never miss a stream and any piece of content of mine. Bruno, oh God. You lot are showing me up today, aren't you? You lot are showing me up today. You lot are showing me up. Yeah, 80% to Bruno. I think it's a debate. I think it's more of a debate than you lot think. It doesn't matter much if Bruno is our best player. We need the best team in the system of Erik ten Hag. You make your best. Yes, I disagree with that. Are you back tomorrow? I am back tomorrow. All week this week, Alex Talksall will be on the MPB morning show. Never miss a beat. I have a feeling lots of news will be dropping this week. 80%. Bruno Fernandez is a better player than Florian Wirtz. You lot do not want him to leave. Neither do I. But if a £100 million bid comes in, you know what? I wouldn't be the most upset man in the world. If you enjoyed all that, then make sure to leave a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. I'm here every day at 11 a.m. on the MPB morning show. Any last piece of news? I think the news cycle is done for this morning. I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.